Me. Starts city. Gives up within 30 seconds. Seniac. Earth sucks, so let's make Earth 2.0. Seniac. Brings back opening comments. Peasants. Rejoice. Seniac. My inspiration for this came from the British Empire. Me. Laughs in American. In all serious though, I can't wait for this series. Seniac. Let's make the world. Me. Still worrying about how to make a city. Seniac. The sun will never set on the Fool's Kingdom. Me. So you're turning off the day and night cycle? And guys, welcome to the first episode of the Fool's Kingdom. If you guys didn't see the kind of star episode that I created where we did a little time lapse where we built this world, then I highly do recommend checking it out right now. We have got our main island, and to give you a quick rundown of how this series is going to work, we have our main island here, which is the Fool's Kingdom, which you can see it's been outlotted by a region. And then we have many other little islands dotted around, which will be their own individual kingdoms as well. So think of it as countries. We're going to create our own country on the Fool's Kingdom. Then all these little islands here contain individual different countries that we have to forge alliances with. We might become enemies with. We are going to have to make sure that we do good trade deals so we can make sure that the Fool's Kingdom is the greatest kingdom ever to live in this brand new world. Now and I will tell you this guys, some kingdoms, some countries have material, like I've taken it right now, the Fool's Kingdom has nothing. Some countries are rich in oil, some have got loads of forestry areas, some have got oil, you can see ore areas right now, farming areas, so we need to trade with these potential new countries in the future. We might even take over some islands to claim it as a part of our own country. You just never know what is going to happen in this series. So if you guys do enjoy this, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new right here, then please make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out, because this is going to be a really fun series. Now, of course, we are limited to the game's limitations, so most of the time we're going to have to use our imagination, pretend something that's happening, because, we don't have individual economies and stuff like that. But what we need to do in this episode then is we need to find and found the first kingdom in this world. And that first kingdom is the Fool's Kingdom. So we need to kind of slowly create our small little civilization. Get the first people to jump on a boat and be the pioneers and land on shore. And claim this island as the Fool's Kingdom with your boy King Seniac at the throne. I should definitely get like a castle from the workshop, shouldn't I, and build a castle, but it is what it is. I've been thinking about where we can do it. Now, I'd like this little inlet of water here to be a great starting point. It could also be where we potentially create all of our future trade harbours. I don't know, we just see how it goes, but at the moment right now, for the first settlers, it only feels right to kind of put it in here. So we're protected from the vicious seas and Mother Nature, and gives us a little bit of protection. I could potentially, we could create forts on the very end of the entrance of the mouth of the kind of entrance here. So if any attackers want to come in, they got to go through them before they get to where we are. So we're going to have to place down then what is going to be our shipping harbour, which this provides an outside connection for passengers to the city by sea, and tourists will also arrive. Now, we can't quite get it fully on, so we're going to have to slightly extend our ship pathway. Now, I'll do it to here, and if I bring it up to there, they won't actually come down it, it just gives us the ability to use it. So now I can pretty much add anything I want on. So, let's take a look then, because obviously wherever I position this now is pretty much going to set up the road network moving forward. So, bam. There we go. There we go right now. I'm going to actually increase the height of it, so it's a little bit more level with the land around it. Now, we need to be careful about our money as we progress. So straight away, I'm going to turn the building off, because that will save me a few little pennies. And as you progress as well, I'm going to have to keep turning on and off the harbour, so it brings in people when and where we need it. Now, we're only really spending money on the hour when it comes to the expenses. It says I'm losing 400 a week. Is that will it go down to 0 soon? It best do, boys. It freaking best do right now. Now there we go, down to 0. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So I can continue to build and not lose money and waste it just yet. And we have to keep opening and closing it. It's like our little border control to begin with, as we bring people in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little touch it mod right now. Untouch that road, right? I might not do anything with it, but I've untouched it just to kind of get me going. And we'll kind of extend it a little bit more. Let me sort this out right now. To the right, extend a little bit more to the left. Bam, 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 bam. But we can use this for the most part right now as being the entry point to your boy's kingdom. So that is pretty much centralized right there. And we're going to start with our beautiful little boulevard road, and we'll bring it up by 20. And I've got to think as well, like future kind of projects that we're going to create. Maybe we create like a little miniature highway system that tears through all of the Fool's Kingdom. So I've got to think about this kind of stuff. But I think for now we don't worry about it too much until we do come to building those larger projects. But we've now extended now fully up by 50. So then if I go for, what do you reckon, a 10 by 10 turn, do you reckon that's too much? I reckon I'll go back a bit more. And we'll go for like a 20 by 20 turn just there to kind of lead us down to this way. Let's say by, because we've done 40 here, we'll do 40 there. And then I could maybe bend this a 20 by a 20. So we kind of snaking away from the harbour that we have now gone on to create. And obviously that will then lead down to here and go up to that way. And then as time goes on, we'll switch up and create little junctions to lead like a road going down to the peninsula, going down to this way. So that can be the starting point to what we have now created. Which is actually quite exciting, isn't it? So back to the road then. I don't know what type of road to use to begin with. Like, do I use these 2-lane plain street roads as a way to kind of, you know, say that like we've invested the money heavily in building the boulevard road, but then all those little side streets and whatnot are just the standard roads. So if I now start creating our little kind of grid layout, only very loosely at the start because this is where everyone is potentially going to live. And what's that there? I don't know, how far have I gone out here? I've gone out by 16, haven't I? So if I do another, right, that should now be 20. And that's pretty much how we are going to live right now. So 20 by 20s. And for the most part, like I said, that is going to be our structural kind of setup for this first. Do we class it as our first era for the kingdom? Now, as time goes on and we get more and more money and progress a little bit further, we'll slowly start to build it up into the metropolis that we know the Fool's Kingdom will be. But because this is the first kind of like iteration of it, I might just kind of create or design some sort of small little village in many ways. Like that. As if like, you know, we've just settled into this place. And this is what we're pretty much getting from this area. So I can do like small little cul-de-sacs. This is the first settlers breathing on this island. Which is actually quite a cool thing, isn't it, really, if you think about it. So I bring it down to there, and I bring that straight across. So we kind of like, we had the structure, and then we kind of lose it as if growth took over. But eventually, we'll get it all set up, and we have like a uniform kind of system. But this is not going to be too bad for our first little settlement. Our first small, tiny little area within the Fool's Kingdom. Now, we do need to start adding stuff in, so we'll design it all, and we'll start then with adding in a little bit of residential. So we'll drop some there, fill all this little section up, But then we'll do a little commercial strip here. I'll do a little commercial strip there, as if that was like our little miniature. You know what? No. Scrap that. I'm going to create this as our little market street. So we have all the residential down, and I filled this little section up here. That's our little market street. So think back to like medieval times. We got a little section here where everyone does their shopping and whatnot. And I fill this little section up there. So we kind of like complete that little bit of a square. I kind of run it to I run it to about there, because there will be other areas where we do have commercial in. Run it to there. But now we need to get set up then all the utilities and stuff, like the power, the sewage, and obviously the water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it for now kind of a little bit out the way, so we don't kind of intrude too much in these areas. So if I bring it up to here, and then we'll use this road as well. Is it cheaper than it's 29 cents a cell versus this being 39? So it's only like a couple of pennies cheaper, but I'll take it. So we'll create over here then our little makeshift utility area, which I think for now we can probably get away with the wind turbines. So if I drop 3 there, do you reckon that will be enough to sufficiently power the starting area of our place? Hopefully. In terms of sewage kind of capacity, do I grab this in? It's $800 a week to run, or do I kind of pollute the water? I might just initially start polluting the water. It's not a good start, is it? Gets a water tower in, which will drop on just there. And what am I missing? Oh, garbage. That's what I'm missing right now. So, not you. Garbage in a sense of here. We'll throw in a small little recycling factory just there, or facility. So it's all connected by power anyway. We just got to get them all connected via the water. So bring that to there. And we'll use the water pipes to follow, to a certain extent, the road network. There we go. Bring that right down to here. And then we'll start running this up to the sides. That to there. So it needs a little bit of power right now. And we'll get it in just a second. Run that to there and to there. So the power line will pretty much run with the road. So we get this all connected up and over, straight down to here. And then we've got the basic setup to then officially start allowing in the first residents, the first citizens of the Fool's Kingdom. Now guys, let me know in the comment section down below. This series, I'm going to have to rely on you guys a lot in the comment section down below. But what would the nationality be of people who are born and are from the Fool's Kingdom? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are they Foolians? Are they fools? I don't know. You guys, will come up with something interesting for me right now. But that is the beginning of our little town, little village. We now just have to wait for the first cruise ship to make its way over. Now, we are spending on using quite a lot of money in terms of expenses right now, as you can see. So we're going to turn down some of our budget. So we'll put everything down to 50% on the power, the water, the garbage and all that. And then from that point, as we progress, we can then start to up it depending on what the needs are. But that would ultimately halve our utility bill straight away. I've got loads and loads of peeps on their way over right now. So I'm just kind of waiting for the cruise ships to arrive. So we've got 200 people on their way to claim residence in the Fool's Kingdom. Which is quite exciting, isn't it? It is quite exciting. So we'll have our residents moving in. And then we'll have a little bit of commercial thrown in as well. But at some point, they're going to want a little bit of industrial needs. Now, we already have this little area over here set up. So why don't we kind of extend it slightly? And we can drop down some industrial zoning, where we create a few little workplaces for these people and these guys and our beautiful kingdom. So we have the power, it has the water, and we're officially now getting all set up. I'm actually quite excited. I am quite excited for this. So the main aim at the moment then, we'll fast forward, is all about trying to turn a little bit of a profit, break even to the point where we're no longer losing the money. Now from past experience, we up these to, is it 11? Is that 11? And these are 10? Is that how it used to work? I can't remember. Or is it up? No, I think it's the opposite way around for this, isn't it? We'll put them all to, you know, we'll put them all to 10s. Up it by 1%. Just see how it goes. Now we can really test out the utilities. So electricity, not looking too good. So the budget for that, I'm going to put it now to 75%. I know the night cycle doesn't really matter at this point, but I do it anyway so it all kind of falls into place. Which we now got enough electricity. Garbage production's a little bit too low, but we haven't really got enough people right now for the garbage production to be a thing just yet. And we've now officially got our first few people living in the Fool's Kingdom. How cool is this? They're coming in their droves right now. Look at them. Look at these damn folios walking around right now. We need some kind of policing. Now, I'm going to pretty much wait until... How many people come in this one? There's 21 people coming in that one. Until the cruise ships that's transporting somewhere else, I pretty much can't bring anyone else. I think that is going to be the case. So if I turn off the harbour right now, that means no one can come in and officially no one can enter at the moment. Which by doing that reduces my budget, my expenses that we're spending right now to the point where we might even break even. But that is all to now throw into place the police station to put in some law and order into this place. So I think we'll throw this, where should I put it? Should I put it just here? I think there will be a good little spot next to the residential. And eventually I can put some strip of little commercial going down and leading around. So there we go. We now have some policing available. We have law and order in the Fool's Kingdom, which is good to see. But ultimately, oh, we got death as well. Ultimately, we need to keep increasing the population to the point where we're able to be self-sufficient. So put the crematorium all the way over there so we can enable and handle the death care. And we're going to now slightly extend our little residential area. So if I go up by 30 here, that becomes a 30 strip. And now this is starting to reminisce and look more towards what the future of the road layout may be. Now if I bring that straight up there to create that connection, it's slowly all coming together. Now we probably have one too many connections here, but again the layout will change as time goes on. But we have a nice little solid connection up there to enter into this area. I could do the same pretty much just there, and then we'll just see how it goes and we change upon it as time goes on. And that will be a nice little setup here for a future little city park. One, to kind of make the people a little bit happier, but also two, to try and create some money for us. So we're going to see what we can do right now in terms of, you know, I do a little kind of cul-de-sacs kicking in, because even though we have some uniform layout, still at the same time, it's nice to have a little bit of chaos that will ensue. And to make it kind of feel like it isn't so plain and basic, there is a level of confusion in this area, which I kind of like the idea of that. I kind of do. So we have like a uniformed grid, but eventually we will switch it up and change it up and whatnot. So there we go. More residential is now needed in the Fool's Kingdom. So we drag now a couple of spots like this to slowly start filling it up. And then we got to think about building that city park. So we kind of have our little market street right now, which we could actually rename it. This is something I've never done. Market. Hold on. I can't even spell right now. Market Street, which does go the full distance along there. So it's literally named that because of that small little section there, which I do find hilarious. So that's going to build up right now a few little places, but most importantly, we need to turn the harbour now back on to bring those people in. But I'm going to take a look at setting up. Right, now if I bring that up to another there, it's kind of bring in the zone a bit more. Our little city park, which I think will be a nice little good little shout to squeeze in straight away. So the main gate, where do I throw it? Do I pull it on the edges like this? I think, yeah. Because I can add in little side gates, and thinking about it, I don't think I want that little section in there. I want to keep it quite open. So we'll place in some side gates right now. Oh, actually first I need to zone the area, which will be this. Up to there. Bring it all the way around. Oh, am I doing a secondary park here? I think I am. There we go. So it's called Helmlock Hill at the minute. If you guys want to give me some name suggestions of what we can call our little city park, then go ahead, boys. I am open ears right now. But let's get our little side gate in. So we'll get one just there on the entrance of that road, one just there, and we'll squeeze in one there and one there. Multiple little entrances so we can really maximize the area. But if I bring that directly up to here, bring that directly up to there, straight across, can we anarchy that in? Bam, just like that, it's all connected. And then this, where is the point there where it will bend in? Like that. So that connects to there, that connects to there. These connect to here. So I can still zone around the edges if I want to, but we've really maximized the efficiency in the middle. Now I won't for anything like that because I like to just place in stuff in the middle. We'll use that like little bit of open space. So we've got what we'll just place down there, the Park Plaza. We'll get the Park Cafeteria in next as well. Put it right next to it, and we'll get the Park Restrooms in on the other side. So just those for now to kind of give us what we need, but it's most importantly, what it's going to do is, well, fingers crossed, generate some revenue for the Fool's Kingdom. So we're charging people to enter these beautiful natural grounds. And it would be interesting to see just what exactly happens. So citizens are now sick, and we can now request in the medical clinic, which we need to find a good little spot for. So if I squeezed it in here, opposite where the police station is, trying to keep it all local. Shopping's here, services are quite nearby, park's just over there as well. See how it goes. We need to extend the water as well. So I think it's coming back to the point right now where I'm going to have to double check some of our levels. So electricity is the budget we now need to increase again. So I think we can now put that to 100% back to normal. Garbage is really, really low, so I'm going to put that to... I wonder if 75% is enough. I'll put it to 75% right now. Even though it's still below capacity, no one's really complaining about it too much at the minute. Sewage is slowly going down. Water's still pretty high though, so I'll keep the budget as it is until I start rising it. But there we go. There we go right now. Am I waiting for any more additional cruise ships to come in? Or are we... Where's all the cruise ships? Where's all the boats? Ah, they're all the way over here. Is that one on the way to us? On the way to the harbour? It's got 100 passengers. Yeah, so we still got plenty of people on the way over right now, which is fairly interesting to see that they keep thriving and coming in. And now we're starting to have a little bit of an industrial demand increase again. So we place a few more down. I'm going to extend that a little bit further as well. Get some zoning down for this. So we'll do a full wide selection just there. It's got water. We'll have the power as well. An increase on the workforce. So we are now going to have to start thinking about education. Education, so we have to get in an elementary school. We have 100 eligible students for the elementary school. So I'll squeeze that in just there. And there we go. Make everybody happy right now. And do we have people who are walking all the way to work? I mean, at some point, it would be a good idea to squeeze in a little bus route. But that's not until we get like a larger amount of people over here. So that cruise ship is coming in with 100 passengers on board, and it's shortly followed by another cruise ship with 18, then another one with another 100 on board as well. Wow, we really are starting to get a lot of people now arrive. So let's fast forward then, because all these additional and extra people are going to put money into your boy's pot with our mission to try and break even. Now, have we had anyone visit the park? 12 people at the moment, so we need to up the levels, don't we? We kind of do. So what I'm thinking about doing right now then is extending. So we came off here by 10. Now that is officially off there by 20. So if I came off here by 20 and came up here by 20, and then if we did a 20 by 20 bend, and then carried right down, does that fit in? Does that feel right? Or am I doing it on this mark, on the 10 mark? $20 by 20. I'll do it on the 10 mark, because I don't want to build too close to this, because I feel like that's eventually we're going to have like a smallish little highway that passes through and around the big middle section. So if I kept that as it is like there, and then maybe we extended that middle section up to here. And I don't think it warrants me creating any form of connection to the road that way. Because what I can actually do is implement... Well, one, I can implement a little crossroad just there and just there for the entry points of the park. And then what we do then with... we'll grab the bicycle paths / thingy-my-bobby-my-booty here. And if I do a connection like that, and then do a connection like that, that all becomes incorporated and hooked up. So people from over here can simply walk straight across through the park, because I'm trying to now up the numbers going to the park so I can make a little bit extra cash. So increase the residential on that front, increase the residential on this front, and we do have a nice little commercial gathering as well. So is that where I then think about... Well, if I pause, get rid of the power lines tearing through here now at this moment. And is that where I then start to, like, utilize the boulevard road that we have, the avenue? Throw in a little bit of commercial on that strip, but then back it up with a little bit of residential on this side. And maybe just there as well. As it's slowly all coming together. And then, of course, I gotta frail everything out. Like this, to make it look a little bit more natural. Right, that's good enough for me. Power-wise, get that straight over to there. All good, all good, all good. Which again is going to bring in tons more residents. So we fast forward now then, as it slowly builds up, people start to head in. But we've built a little bit of commercial, but unemployment is at a high of 40%. And we're really only going to bring in more residential right now anyway, so that unemployment number is slowly going to rise. It's now nearly at 50%, so half the people that can work can't work. To put it, you know, very loosely. Now that's not going to bode well with me building this, with this water tower being over there. So I think I'm going to squeeze the water tower. I'm just going to throw it here for now. Just kind of reposition it. Does it need electricity? Well, it's got electricity right now anyway. And then we'll get some industrial down as well. To there. So we're all connected back up again. Because I could see that water supply being polluted. I mean, I'm already polluting the sea, but I could see that happening as time goes on. So let's fast forward now then. We got to be getting close to the point where we're going to be breaking even, right? I'm just watching the money that we're losing. We've got quite a few residents now in. Oh, we don't have fire coverage, do we? Let me pause. Fire, fire, fire. Which I think the fire depot is going to be placed a little bit more centralized, so I think I'll squeeze it in just here. So we can utilize it serving this area a bit more. There we go. So again, that ups my kind of weekly expenses. Now I need more power in, so we're going to be fighting this quite often. But I still think we can get away with doing the wind turbines for now. And now we got sewage issues. So is that because we had no power though? Or is that truly we've got sewage issues? Yeah, kind of. So we up the budget. I'm going to put the budget now to 75%. And that ups both of them. Electricity is still on the cusp. But with the additional of jobs, what do you need? Not enough educated workers. What did we manage to bring the unemployment down to? 28%. Still got a long way to go to work with it. But it's definitely an improvement. It's definitely an improvement. So, damn. We need lots more stuff, don't we? How is the park now doing? It's almost going to start breaking even very shortly. We do have a fair few people walking around it, but as we build more and more stuff around, those people who eventually start using the park a little bit more. So get them up to there, get rid of that, get rid of that bit there. Bit more commercial just on this side. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. We've officially got over now 1,000 people living here. That's quite exciting, isn't it? 1,000 people officially living in the Fool's Kingdom. And that is the starting point to the wonderfulness that we're going to create. So there's many, many things that we need to do. Many, many nations, many countries, many kingdoms that we need to create. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But we've got a nice little solid starting point. Still got plenty of demand right now, but the one thing that I'm fighting against heavily is trying to turn a profit. So I feel like there's a lot of people now moved in, so I can turn off the harbour, which costs us 1,600 a week to run. That in itself should see us through to making a little bit extra money, if not coming very close to breaking even. I've got a lot of wind turbines down right now, which at some point we're going to have to switch over to actual some form of power. But we are isolated, so we've got to be careful that we don't do it for too long. But as of right now, we're turning over a little bit of profit. How is this going to play out? I don't officially know. I don't officially know how it's going to play out. It's going to be quite exciting. But I think before we do create our first little neighbour, first official secondary kingdom that we're going to have to trade with, do good deals with and all that kind of jazz, we need to get the Fool's Kingdom up and running a little bit more. So I think we quite possibly need to get it to about 3,000 to 4,000 population that we can sustain it before we decide we build that secondary kingdom. And I'm not too sure where we're going to build it first. I might start here in our little neighbour. You never know, before we sprawl out to somewhere a little bit more kind of defined. These two countries here, I kind of want to create our very own version of North and South Korea. Weirdly, I do. Like, one's going to be like an IT cluster, you know, South Korea. One's going to be North Korea, where it has the Chirp X space thing with a rocket. Looks like it's got military weapons. And the only way to get into this island is on an airport. So which means it's only outside region connections. Nobody from inside can get in. That's going to be really, really cool. I can't wait for that. But it's only a small, basic start. But it's the beginning of something a whole lot bigger, a whole lot crazier that we're going to set up and we are going to create. So if you are excited for this series, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when the next episode does come out. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.